welcome back to the Blissful Badger. How is everyone? Clickety click click click, getting things set up. Yeah. I hope everyone's had a good day. Yesterday was long, but we did manage to get 20 clanrats completed. And 20 more than halfway. So let's finish these today. Wow, I didn't even put the lid on properly yesterday. I was tired. Okay. Alright. Let's see. What do we want to do first today? Since these speed paints can go down normally, and these speed paints need the light flesh down first, let's do the light flesh. Yeah. That makes sense, right? So we're only 8 layers of paint away from having 40 clanrats done this weekend. That is the size one. Alright. Hello, mustache. Yesterday was crazy, wasn't it? But we got a good ways in. We actually got to a point where all of the metals were done. So, yeah. It's pretty wild how much we did get done, even if we didn't finish 40 of them in a day. That was a little bit on the extreme side, but, you know, if you don't try to challenge yourself, you never know what you can do. So. But we're gonna finish these tonight. I'm going to push these back just a little bit more. And these guys are going over this way. Yeah, I didn't take another break. I just pushed on. And, I mean, that's the thing. You could have watched the extended edition trilogy faster than yesterday's streams. Like, that was a long day. But I have a good amount to show for it. I just need to finish it up today. Yeah. I mean, by my calculations, I have a little over 3 hours today to finish them. It'll probably be just over 3 hours. Yeah. I mean, it was a full day of painting. I think I listened to this playlist 4 times fully. Which was fine, but 5 times would have been too many. And I am also looking forward to painting something different tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be the... what are they? The prosecutors? Or maybe another character? I haven't seen him yet. Doesn't mean he won't show up. But yeah, I have the prosecutors and liberators, the 2 characters, and the Griffhound left for the Stormcast. I have the 3 Giselles and... oh yeah, and I forgot to do his tail. And the Warp Thrower. Yep. And the Clawlord on Gnawbeast. So I have 4 units of Stormcast and 4 units of Skaven left. So I think... and I mean, I even have the terrain done, so it'll take some time to do the basing. I still haven't checked on it today. It was still damp yesterday. But hopefully it's good. But with a total of 8 more units to paint, 3 of which are single model units. Yep. The Clanrats were more than half of the whole box, model-wise. There were 40 Clanrats, 74 models total, and then 4 pieces of terrain. So... and I had 21 painted before the weekend. So... that's... what, 17 left? After the Clanrats? So... I have... let's see. When I finished these guys, I was at the halfway mark. So I expect it to take me just over 2 more weeks to paint everything. Being that I had done a few extra streams in the first 2 weeks that I can't do this time around. But to have yesterday be the halfway mark of models painted. It's pretty wild. And I mean, the first half also included a couple of days of building, so you know, there's actually a good chance that maybe not 4 weeks, but a month, those extra couple of days, might actually be enough to paint a whole box. I wouldn't want to do it every month, I'll tell you that much. A couple of easier months would probably be good. So, I hadn't asked, we were still talking about yesterday. Did you get your models primed today? Or at least the first prime? Good. Now, guess what? It rained here again. Oh, nice. Fully primed. Yeah. The new 40k stuff. Yeah, I did see that they're going to have 2 of the Cerastus Knights in a single box. And I'm just looking at that going, hey, MKOS, or however you want to say that. MK? I don't know. But yeah, they're advertising a new Cerastus Knight kit 2-pack. And I'm like, okay, they're normally $200 a piece. So are they planning on selling it for $350 or $300 or $200 or what? And they still haven't announced the Imperial Knight Codex, and they announced, they had all of those new Space Marines for Heresy, and then they took it away from 40k. So does that mean that they're going to have the Imperial Knight Codex soon after they sell this 2-pack? Because I do have a Cerastus Knight. I have a Castigator, and it's currently in my Knight's army. But are they going to keep them there, or are they going to take them away? So, not that I need another Castigator. If it had been a Lancer instead with the other model, that would have maybe been something I thought about. But $400 worth of models, 2 big Knights, I don't know. I need to paint the other ones I have. But I just saw that and I was like, ooh. Yeah. I... If they hadn't been removing everything, and that's Forge World, and these are advertised as Heresy era models, and they've removed other Heresy era models, I don't feel comfortable with it. I do not feel comfortable purchasing 2 huge knights that may not even be in my army soon. So, I don't know, maybe a bad timing for trying to sell that box, or maybe perfect timing for GW. Don't know. So at some point last night, I moved my camera so it's closer to me. Hopefully it's still centered. I know it would be good if I could get it to focus better, but... yeah. The biggest problem is I wouldn't mind purchasing 2 big knights if I could guarantee that they'd be in my army. And again, I don't really need 2 castigators. But, you know, I wouldn't even go halvesies with someone who didn't need the other one. But yeah, it doesn't make sense it does not make sense as an Imperial Knights collector to purchase this box right now. I mean, they're cool models, but they're just not as... I don't know. There are too many questionable aspects. At least for me. Now, if they try to sell it for like $220, well, that's half price. That might be a different story, but... I don't think it'll be that inexpensive. I just made a mess. I had slopped a whole bunch of white on his face, so... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Both of those huge Tyranid models are amazing looking. And I never purchased one. And I will probably never purchase one, being that, or at least a Forge World one. Because I have a Barbed and Scythed Hierodule, a Dimacharon, and 3 of the Malanthropes? So So I have most of their other big monsters that used to be Forge World. And not a single one of them is tournament legal, at least, anymore. Not that I go to tournaments, but, you know, not having rules given to them later on kind of hurts. Like, for, what was it, 8 months this edition, we didn't even have a point value for the Dimachron. And it's just like, they're cool models. I love them. I do still plan on painting them. But I would not pay their prices for something that may not be in the Codex in, 2 years. So, they're not going to sell their bigger things if they don't keep them in the rules. Hello, Julian. I am back, and I am going to finish these Clanrats today. Yay! Yeah. Well, I don't think they're going to change the Pyrovore anytime soon, or the Norns. Yeah, they keep removing things that people have purchased. And, people are not going to continue purchasing those cool-looking models if they're not going to be able to be played with. But yeah, I would love to get my hands on a Hierophant or a Harridan. They look like cool models, but I could probably find alternative sculpts or something. I have not. I've been kind of busy today. I did see the mention of the 2-pack Cerastus Knights, though. But yeah, I love the different models. There are models that I feel are slightly safer to purchase. And there's so many options out there that it makes sense to buy the ones that are newer, safer overall. Oh, was it that? I did see the Discord post thing. I just didn't click on anything else. Like, I am curious what they're going to come out with for the Skaven for new models. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yep. Yeah, there was a good period where they just didn't have anything in stock either, and it's like, but I want that. Um, I don't know. It's just they're going through some stuff right now, and I just don't know how I feel about it. It's not the first one I've gone through of this either. Um, when I started getting into 40k, um, they never announced what the codexes that were coming out were going to be. They never. They didn't give very much of any future ideas what they're planning to do. Um, and then they started announcing what they were going to do several weeks, several months early, and it became a big thing where it was great. And now it's pushed a little bit further, and now it's just FOMO, and who knows what might still be playable by the time you get it in stock. I'm particularly thinking about the Beastman models that came out, what, a year ago and now are old world only. Even though it's a new plastic kit. You know, it's GW. They're doing GW stuff. But the whole keep Forge World as Forge, you know, not Forge World, the keep Heresy as Heresy era. Don't put it in anything else. Don't have Warcry in Age of Sigmar type of stuff. It's yeah. I just want to have cool models and paint them and be able to play with them when I want to. Yeah. Um, like, I have extra Orc Boy models, and I have extra rocket launches for them. And I could build a tank busta crew through that, but they made it so that it's a resin kit, and it will probably be gone by the next edition. And it's like, I could spend time kit bashing that and having them on the battlefield, but for how long? And I'm definitely not going to buy the resin kit for that. Being that all the other resin stuff is getting removed. So but like, I do still have plague sensor bearers and gutter runners for my Skaven. Currently not playable. Well, they're legends, but I don't know. A lot of it also comes down to what you see is what you get, because a tactical marine on a 32mm base is just about the same size as a intercessor on a 32mm base. They're just a different mark of armor. They're not very much different in size. So, unless you're in a tournament where what you see is what you get is extremely important, they're Space Marines. Hey, Philip. I did not finish them last night, but I will finish them today. I got the 20 done yesterday. I'll get these done today. But good to see you. Yeah, after these guys get the light tan, I have 7 speed paints, and then they're all done. And if I remember correctly, yes, I really enjoy my clanrats. I want to have the ability to run as many clanrats as is allowed in a 2,000 point game. I will find the list that I can do, and I will run every clanrat I can. And they're all going to be painted. It might not be a very good list, but it's gonna be a list. Because the Skaven deserve that kind of attention on the battlefield. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I like the idea behind it, but it also locks too many things behind a wall of requirements that mean that they're not ever going to get played. Like, I have a good number of yeah. The new regiments and everything, if I took If I want to take my Stormcast Vanguard models, I have to take one of 2 heroes, I think. I think there are 2 heroes options for them. And I do not have those heroes. So they would have to be auxiliaries, which means that my opponent would have benefits, because I want to take my models. I think there's going to be some changes pretty soon for, like, community play, where they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Because I think they made it more difficult than they needed to, so that they could sell more models. But anyway, painting tails. Yep. Neve. But yeah, again, I have, what is it? 3 units of the dudes on the riders with the axes or javelins. I have 2 units of the bows with the birds. And I have 2 units of the dudes with the pelts. I don't know their names. No, maybe 3 units of those. So I have... five drops. Yeah, Paladors, yeah. But I have 5 drops of Vanguard, with 2 of them being reinforced, which means I would need 2 heroes to run them all. Yes, hunters, raptors, and paladors, yeah. But yeah, I have enough for 5 units, 2 of which being reinforced. But I would need 2 heroes for that. Yeah. I don't know. Again, I purchased them because I love the models. But how do I play them if I don't have the heroes for them? I don't know. Yeah, but I'm saying I don't have those heroes. I do not have any of the heroes that are required to run them. Yeah. See, that again is another thing. I just don't get it. Like, I understand they're trying to rotate models to make people buy more, but I'm not going to buy a leader to follow my characters just because they said I have to. And have the chance of having it go to Legends. Yeah, they have a store there. But yeah, I love the models. They make great things, great sculpts. I just I don't like that they want to rotate things that, like, what are they gonna do? Say in 6 years' time that you can't take a Clanrat? I mean, Clanrats are kind of a requirement. I think they'd have too many people flipping out if they removed them entirely. But it just sometimes I wonder. Yeah, Julian, I wouldn't mind doing a pilgrimage to Warhammer World, but at the same time, how much would it cost to go there? Like, actually get a flight and hotels and stuff like that. How many armies could you purchase instead? Oh, I'm still saving up for a computer. 7K is a little bit outside of the budget right now. See, I've never actually left the continental US. 49 miles long. Oh yeah, okay. So it's like the distance between me and the shop. Yeah, you think I care about first class? Yeah, didn't they have to change their slogan because people were having a problem with that? Now they misspell wings, so they can't get held accountable for that. Wool. Last I heard, they spell wings like with two N's or something, so that they can't be held responsible anymore, or something like that. I haven't looked into it in a while, but it's kind of funny. Yeah. Yeah. What is the limit of things that you can carry back on with a flight? Because, like, import fees or whatever. Because, yeah, it's probably a little bit cheaper to buy there, but if you have to charge the, get stuff back. Customs and fees and stuff. I don't know. Yeah. It's your turn, Julian. It's your turn. We all have our topics, they're just not always the same. Um, I can hold one up for a moment. Yeah. And I have 4 left of this flesh, and then I can do the 7 speed paints. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, 25 minutes a model? Something in that area? Slightly over 20, less than 25, something like that. While streaming. I mean, when you figure that a lot of the other YouTubers that have been doing this are trying to show how well they can paint in like 3 or 4 or 5 hours per rat, it's like, I'm not trying to win a competition, have the best painted army. I want to have a nice paint job. I don't want to make any like really big mistakes or anything, but I want them to look nice. And I'm willing to give them the time that they deserve. These things are gonna die so fast on the battlefield, but I still give them, 20 to 30 minutes apiece. Like, they need to look good. I don't want to cut, all the corners and have just blobs on the battlefield. But I also don't have to put, 3 hours into a rat. I mean, I've seen 3 or 4 YouTubers that are talking about doing each of their, like 3 coats of color on their flesh. Like, to highlight all this up. And do, like, little lines for the fur, and I'm like, okay, sure. I guess they'll look better if you pick them up about this far away. I'm 9 inches away. You might be able to see more detail, but like, this is about the distance that you're gonna see it from real life playing. Like, this is about 2 feet from here to here. I mean, that's what it's gonna look like on a table. So, I gave my heroes more time. That's sad. A bit. I mean, iterative programming is, Oh? Are you going to answer that? Or are you waiting for me to guess? Because if you're waiting for me to guess, I'm going to say Ryan Reynolds. No. No, I was just thinking how. I mean, I could have said any number of other people, but I just figured, he might do a good job of a role playing game. He at least seems fun. There's 40 right here. When I'm done painting this, I'll have 100 painted. Not enough. Need more. We were talking about role playing. We hadn't figured out which game system or when my schedule would be best for everyone. I mean, my schedule, your schedule, all of those need to be taken care of to see if we can. I know there are ways to do it in Discord. Yeah, I suggested Firefly RPG, Serenity RPG. Serenity RPG, not Firefly. Two different types. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I read into it, but Serenity RPG seems more fun. Well, like I said, Yeah. Like I said, after I'm done with the Skaventide, I'll see what my schedule is like, and we'll figure out timing and stuff and see if we can actually get a roleplay game going. We will look into it, but we're gonna get this done first. Alright, that is the end of the light flesh. Yay! Well, I can look into those. Oh, I don't know if you were on when I said earlier. When I finished this 20-man Clanrat swarm, I was halfway done painting all of the Skaventide. So this is more than... This is more than a quarter of the box. So I went from about 25% done to 50% yesterday and 75% today. So next, I'm going to go through and hit all of the buddy rats with the Grim Black. This step should only take a few minutes. It also gives me time for the tails to dry fully. Because not all of the models have a little buddy rat. Buddy rat. It's not showing up. Painted buddy rat. The problem with D&D is that too many people play lawful and good characters in it. I think D&D would be fun if you were just playing the villains. A group of villains. And small groups of heroes are trying to come and get ya. Just think of all the monologues you can have. But yeah, seriously, after I'm done with the Skaventide paint through, all of the daily live streams, I'll sit down and see what my schedule looks like, and we'll figure out something from there. I just need to get through this first, because this is taking up, well, 21, 22 hours a day? Not a day. 21, 22 hours per week? I mean, this is a half-time job just streaming, so... I do enjoy the streams. I plan on seeing if I can do 2 per week after I finish. Yeah. But let me see what my schedule looks like after I'm done with this. And we'll go from there. Another issue with the everyday is I can't go for an overnight hike if I'm streaming every day. 7 days, 3 hours? Okay. So that took 11 minutes. I told you that the Grim Black wouldn't take very long. So because I'm on a roll and I want to get a couple more colors done, blood red. Eyes go quick. When all the... So, I do the light flesh and then the red speed paint. Anything that goes past the eye just looks like it's glowing. And I like having the slightly further away, able to see the glowing eyes effect. So it's not sloppy, it's just OSL. Have a good one, Philip. Okay. And now that's the blood red. Two colors in less than 15 minutes? Yeah. Okay. Sedate orange and deep magenta. Okay. That could go pretty good together. Alright. 5 colors left. Let's do the pallid bone for the claws and teeth. Okay. I like these 2 or 3 layers that are just really, really fast. Knocks out some of the details without having to be so time-consuming. I'll be honest, I'm still tired from yesterday. Even if I was just sitting here painting, it was still a very long 12 hours of active painting, not including all of the breaks and such. Like, that's a lot. Yep. Have to have that control where you're putting the paint. Hold the mini in a certain way. A lot of focus. Yep. Oh yeah, I was definitely stretching as often as I could. Towards the end, I was leaning back and stretching as often as I could between paintbrushes and tea and everything. But again, if I hadn't done that, I would have another half a week of painting on these guys. Maybe more. So... I mean, as it is, I'm down to 4 colors now. So I'm going to move the Runic Grey to the last, because I like leaving that to dry. And I'm going to leave Purple Alchemy to the second to last, because both of those are things that are going to need more time to dry. So I have my Hardened Leather and Dark Wood. So I'm going to start with the Hardened Leather. And yeah, 4 colors left. This one has a little bit more detail required. The belts and everything. But the Dark Wood is fairly easy to apply. There's enough hard edges for it. Yeah, I look forward to it. I have your last video saved for later. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I'll probably do that after the stream. Yeah. I'm usually your like 6th or 7th or 8th person to see your videos. Yeah, I've been kind of busy. Just a little bit. I mean, it took me a year to get to... No, what was it? I think it took me over a year, like 13 months to hit 100 subscribers. And then another like 9 months to hit 200. So I know some people have channels that go crazy really fast, but I mean, you gotta get out there and see things, you know? But I would like to hit 500 or 1,000 anytime soon. That would be nice. Did I just put him back in the... I've put him back in the pile I was working on. Okay. But it can take a while. Not everyone gets, 10,000 subscribers in the first year. Man, that would be weird. Like, I am currently nearing the 250 subscriber mark. And I don't know how people keep track of everyone when they get into the tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. Like, that just seems crazy. I guess you kind of lose a little bit of the person-to-person interaction type of thing when you get to that size. Yeah, I mean, there are also those that do algorithm-based topics, like, the idea of doing the Skaventide when Skaventide released. I mean, that, to an extent, is algorithm. But there are certain things that you can just... I try not to be very negative. I mean, I've talked about things that I'm not thrilled about, but, like, 25-minute long videos about, oh, this is what happened just now, and it's like, nah, I don't want to do that. It might not be as great for the videos and algorithm, but I don't want to be the negative. I just want to have fun and paint. Have people to talk to. Like, what am I doing? Pretty much that. I mean, I had so much fun writing that last video title and just getting everyone upset. But again, even that, I did it to announce that I was going to paint every day. It didn't have a this bad, blah blah blah. It was a I want to paint. Come watch me paint. So, again, some channels just they go out of their way to make clicks and views and subs and not to have consistent content that's just having fun with models. Yeah. Exactly, like I know if I was one of those really large channels, they wouldn't be working on painting. They'd be getting clicks and, you know, whatever. Ah, that's fine. And, like, this is what I do with my free time, not, you know, I'm not trying to make this a 40-hour a week or a 60-hour a week job. Yeah. Like, just because I don't mention what my real name is on here. This is me. This is what I'm like off of the camera. Uh, so... Like, I'm definitely going to say I'm not going to stop people like Julian helping me provide better equipment for, you know, doing these or having the money for the models. You know, like, I'm not going to say no to that. But I'm not going to put 40 to 60 hours a week into it to attempt to make it a second job. I want to have fun. I want to make content that I'm not gonna cringe at looking at it later on going, oh my goodness, I actually said that negative thing, and no. This is the kind of thing I want to do. I just want to paint minis. So, you know, there's a bunch of different kind of content out there, and be the thing that you want in the world, right? Yeah. I mean, if I didn't like painting, there's no way I would have ever done any of these channel things. Like, this is fun. Like, it's a lot of work doing it every single day. That's why I'm not really, like, planning to keep it up every single day after I finish this box. But I think if I can, I'm gonna try to schedule 2 a week instead of 1. Because this is this is hours of painting. I'm actually actively painting. Whereas if I'm trying to do a video and talk about a topic, I'm usually painting for the video outside of doing anything. So, yep. Yeah, again, I think if I did less videos and more streams, yeah, I get to get more painting done. It's more interesting content to have in the background. And maybe I can do, if I do stream twice a week, I could probably work on the projects that then become the videos. And then there's less behind the scenes painting for the videos, which means that it's not as hard. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, right now, what is the algorithm saying? I don't know. Probably something political, because politics. But yeah, I just want to be here and have a fun painting session and talk to friends. And, that's what I'm doing. So, it's really fun. I never did decide on the banner color. I currently have hardened leather here. I'm just gonna make it a hardened leather banner. I might already have one hardened leather. I don't care. I don't have a denim rat holding a hardened leather banner. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't be watching it all the time if you didn't enjoy it, right? And I mean, I try out new techniques here and there, and I try out, I try out new things. I try different painting techniques. I have a interesting mix of speed paints and base paints and stuff like that I do. I don't usually paint to the standard color schemes that are set out. I just try to do something new. Sometimes the color schemes work and sometimes they don't. But it's fun. Something new, different. Yeah. Yeah, like, just think, if I had 100 times more people talking in the chat room right now, we wouldn't be able to have a a conversation. It'd be kind of weird. But I also like the idea that I think people are watching me because I'm calming and, you know, the chill stream aspect, like you were saying up there. Um, I don't think you have a problem with me painting 40k or Age of Sigmar or Battletech, or if I decided to paint the other side or some Reaper Bones minis or anything like that. I think it's just me painting and having a cool day, you know? Yeah. Like, I'm not wrong in that, right? I don't think you guys have a preference of what I'm painting, just that I am here painting and chatting. Like, that's cool. See, and that's the thing. I love that. It's just a chilled stream. Like, I've watched ones where people try to be so energetic, and I'm all for watching it every now and then, but it can tire you out just as much as a you know, just watching it can tire you out. Yeah. I mean, when I created the channel name Blissful Badger, I knew I was going to be more of a laid back person on here. It is who I am. Like, I am not super energetic bounce off walls type thing, you know? I have fun around people like that. Julian is really fun to be around in the chat room. But I like looking at it and going, yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah. You know? Like, I can feed off of the excitement without having to be the one doing the excitement, which I think is cool. And yeah, I'm all for the alternative sculpts and stuff. Like, that's part of the fun I find as well. Like, bargain hunting, finding things that work. I don't think I'm gonna go for a 13,000 point BattleTech army because points are weird. But maybe 130 BattleTech minis eventually. That's the same thing, right? No, 130 Battletech minis would be like a company of Space Marines, right? And 29 is actually quite a large selection. Like, what I've been reading about was like a 4v4 could take up to 3 hours or something like that. I mean, the good news is you could probably buy 29 more for the cost of a combat patrol for 40k. If you were going for best price and not worrying about exactly what you're getting. Oh yeah. And like I said earlier, it doesn't care as much about what you see as what you get. If I wanted to run a heavy mech as a different variation or even a different mech, most people wouldn't give me a hard time about that. At least that's what I've been getting the vibe of on, like, reading about different army builds and stuff. Not really army builds, but, I'm getting into Battletech. What should I get first? Or I have a budget. What should I look into? Everyone seems so friendly. So, that's pretty cool. Yeah, well, like I said, you like the jet bikes and the tanks. And you can build an army that is primarily tanks and bikes. I was trying to show you alternatives that you could do if you didn't want Guardians as your foot sloggers. It gives you another alternative to that kit. If you wanted to go with what is the kit? What was the thing? Whatever it was. The one where the Eldar versus the Chaos. The Shining Spears and Rangers are both pretty cool in that. They give you some options. Or not Shining Spears. They were not Shining Spears. They're the I don't know. I don't remember the name of them. But the two-man bike units were pretty cool. But yeah. And then there was the kit bash I did for my Shining Spears. The things that I was thinking about earlier, and I was naming the wrong thing. I used old Seraphon and made Exodites. Shroud Runners. Shroud Runners. There we go. Yeah. So this is it for the leather, which means I have dark wood, purple alchemy, and runic gray to go. And since I'm at that point, and I need to turn the music back on in a minute, I mean, is that not a cool conversion? And I have 3 more of these dinos, so I can make another unit of 3. But again, I love converting things. Like, I made those Jazales. I used random bits to make my Skaven knowholes. It's just fun to do stuff like that. Darkwood time. But things like that. It doesn't have to be this particular way. And, like, I took 2 different painting schemes for the Eldar and mashed them into one for them. The dinos are... Oh, I'm gonna forget the names. The blue and black camo pattern. I did that for the dinos. And I did the, Bealtan for the rider. The green and tan. And those two together look really good. And they may never make that model, ever. They might never make Exodites, even though the Eldar could probably use them as they refresh a bunch of stuff. But I have something unique. Like, even if you followed my video and made similar ones, they're still going to be unique. So... I just like it. It's something, there's something to it. It's something different. So, you know, between alternative sculpts and kit bashes and all that stuff, it's just fun to have something different. And I'm totally fine with kit bashing new stuff. I just don't want to do it right before something becomes a Legends item. So... kit bashes, for the sake of having fun, are great, but being able to play with them afterwards is also great. Yeah. It makes the army your own. It's just amazing. And again, that's another reason I do alternative color schemes for my painting and stuff like that. I could have put red weaponry on my Dark Angels, but I didn't want to have them exactly like everyone else, so I painted them blue. The casings, not the Space Marines. And being that I don't ever plan on selling any of my painted models, I don't have to worry about resale value. From not following the scheme. Yeah, I I think playing like a Crusade game, having those available is cool. Narrative games are more fun in general. Um, I just don't want to have to deal with, well, is it allowed or not? But one thing I did when I had the opportunity, not too long ago, I found a eBay lot for the 8th edition indexes. So between the rulebook and the indexes, I technically have a moment in time right as Primaris was coming out where you could play everything just based on the books. Now, I haven't gotten any games in of that, but it is something I have if I ever feel like it. Just like I should still have all of the 10th edition indexes saved from release and the codex. So I could theoretically play the first day of 10th edition as well. Not everything was balanced, but it's an alternative option. It's an option. You don't have to have it be the way, just have that option. Yeah. And again, I still remember fun times with 6th and 7th. A lot of people were saying it was going crazy and it was unbalanced and all this other stuff, and it was fun. All the random detachments that you could take to get benefits were kind of fun. But I guess that's the difference between narrative and competitive, because if you build it too powerful, you're not gonna you're gonna have problems. So, I don't know. Oh, I have some of the old rules stuff like that. It's I don't have as many as I do the 40k stuff, because I've been playing and collecting 40k for a lot longer than other games. But I just like the idea that you have options. I still want to play some more time, but I need to just get the PDF and stuff like that, and well, I have a whole bunch of clanrats now. The Stormcast isn't really Mordheim-like, and the Disciples of Tzeentch I don't think were around then either, right? They might have rules, but I don't know. Something to look into, but Yeah. But I think it's cool to see the old hammer and um, old games that still get played. Nothing's really dead if you still have someone around that wants to play it. It's just cool. Okay. Oh, and yeah, the rule book. I have the rule book, and I have. Oh, what is it? I think I have the 8th edition Tyranid Codex. Um, after. After a certain number of armies, I realized it wasn't worth buying a codex until it no longer had any current rules in it. I would rather buy a secondhand codex for $10 and read it and have fun than to have the current up-to-date rules in it and pay full price. So all of the codexes I have, what is it, like 15 or 20 codexes that I own? I think one of them I owned during the period where it was playable. Like at the beginning of the year, I read the Imperial Guard Codex for 9th edition. Because I was able to find it for like $10, the special one. Yeah. It's fun to read about the lore. I'm definitely not against that. And that's part of the fun too. You can explore 40k and Sigmar and all the other games and systems and all that stuff any way you want. It might not make sense to everyone, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. I mean, I've read the Ravener series of books, but I haven't read Eisenhorn yet. That was a little weird, but it was fine. Yeah. again, I've purchased 15-ish codexes, and one has been up to date. Everything else I've purchased was just for the lore after the fact. Because they don't update the lore as often as they do the rules. So you can still read stories about things. Yep, I've heard a lot of good things about Eisenhorn. It was weird reading Ravener and it mentioning things that had happened. No spoilers, but some of the characters are in there. So it's just funny to read them out of order, kind of. But I wanted to read Ravener. And I don't even remember which book I stopped reading the Gaunt's Ghosts. I know I read at least 5 or 6 of them, but I lost track of which one it was on. But I could definitely see going back and reading those over again. They were good. I've heard good things about Kane. I still need to get Infinite and Divine. And I also still have to put Darkwood on 9 more models, and then Purple Alchemy and Runic Grey. Yeah, see, I don't know which book I actually stopped on. I also don't want to give out any spoilers for anyone who might want to read them later, so maybe we'll private message later. And work through which one it was. But yeah, I really like how towards the end of this, every color adds so much variety to make it like just once I get like the 4th color down, every color after that just makes every color blend better and highlight an area. And like, I've been doing the Darkwood for what, 20 minutes? I have not read any of that either. I guess you could say that as far as the lore goes, I only started a few years ago on any of it. Like, I collected and painted models for a lot longer than the reading books and stuff. Like, I didn't know very much at all about Eldar history until last year with the Crusade. I read more about that, about Eldar history for the Crusade than I have before or after. Yeah. We also realized Angel of Death and I realized it's been almost 25 years since I've read Lord of the Rings. Because I read it before the movies came out. And I should probably get around to reading those again. Yep. But see, that's what I was saying. I think it's amazing that you can have so many different ways to hobby. Like, the lore, the models, the gameplay, the... You know, I mean, even the video games. Or, you know, board games, or... There's so many different ways to participate with the hobby. Yeah. Occasionally I really like audiobooks, and occasionally I really like reading physical copy. Occasionally I'll read a digital copy. I have an old school ebook reader. You have to actually transfer the book from your computer to the ebook. It's an old school one. But I read a little bit here and there. I listen here and there. I'll go through a period, 2 months where I read a whole bunch of books, and then I don't for several months. But yep. I can listen while painting, but not on stream. And I can listen while making jewelry or armor. But I can't while working. And I find when I'm out on my walks, I prefer to listen to music, so... Yeah. And, you know, there is also a certain limit to amount of painting you can actually do in a day, so sometimes reading is good. Like, having painted 12 hours yesterday. Yeah, after about 6 hours in a day, you need to take a break. So, I still don't know how people do those 24-hour challenges. I managed 12 hours of painting. I could see maybe over the course of a week. That's just, you know, 8 3-hour live streams in a week, right? But ooh, high elves? Find me a couple of Island of Blood, and yeah, that would be fun. I am thinking of the right one, right? Well, I have another 2 weeks-ish of painting the Skaventide daily. And then after that, I'm going to try to do at least 2 streams a week. I think I can still do that after all the stuff, you know. And maybe we'll do a challenge where I stream and you paint as well, and we see what we can get done in, you know, a month of 2 streams a week. But, you know, that could be fun. Kind of a little challenge. What can we do in a month of 2 streams a week, right? Well, yeah, the only thing is you'd have to set aside the things between the streams, so... But other than that, like, we could set up a thing where, in the Discord, where we have a before and after stream progress, and we can do it for a month, say September, so we can set everything up, because I'm going to be working on this into August. But yeah, we can do like a September stream challenge for ourselves. If I stream twice a week, we can do a before and after photo of what we're working on, and at the end of the month we'll have who got the best results, right? So yeah, these guys only have 2 colors left. I gotta do their tails and the denim again, and that's it. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit longer than 3 hours, but hey, you know. But yeah, I think we can set that up for September. That would be cool. So we'll figure that out. One tail. Focus. Focus. Ah, well. I've been painting Tyranids for... what is it? 13, 14 years, and I still don't have a guaranteed basing scheme for them. I think I have a color in mind, but I have not based any of them yet. So if you're still in your first year with the Tyranids, you've got a little ways to go. Yeah, I don't know yet either. Like, I was seeing how I could stream here and on Twitch at the same time, and the only thing I saw was that I could buy software that would be, I think it's like $15, $20 a month. I'm like, yeah, I don't have that to dual stream to several people. Yeah, Tufts do have a cool bit of extra detail in them. Splash of color, change up the look of the terrain, make it look realistic, lived in, living, stuff like that. Words. I still need to get some of those for the, oh, what army was that? Was that gonna be the... What army was I getting that for? Oh yeah, the Death Guard army. The 30k Death Guard. I haven't painted them any in the last couple of weeks, so... They're nowhere near ready for tufts. Yeah, the water marbled bases were really cool. You know, this painting Skaventide in a month-ish time period only gets me one more army closer to having 1,000 points per army. I should probably work on some of the other ones soon, if I have any chance of getting close to all of them. I mean, I still haven't painted any of the custodies. They're still primed and in partials. But... no, actually, I had searched, did anyone else do water marbling for basing? And I had never seen a video of it. So I was like, oh wow, I found a new way of doing something. So I believe I have the only army that has that look. Unless someone actually saw it and did it afterwards. But... but... I do need to get those paints, you know, on some models. But... and then for October, I have some plans. I'm hoping I can kit bash my Stompa before then, because I would like to paint that up for October. Yep. Like, I googled it, I searched YouTube for it, I did a little bit of research before I made that video, and I had not seen anything. If you search now, I think I have someone posted a link to my video on Daka Daka, I think. It wasn't even it wasn't even me. Someone else saw it and thought to share it. So, like, that's pretty out there, being the first for something that has been going on for quite a while. And I do have a few ideas for a second time go at it. I just haven't done it yet. Yeah. Ooh. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah. Yep. That's difficult. I'm still trying to learn the art of nice basing. One of my armies is just a texture paste. And then a couple of tufts. Another one is just texture paste with random pieces of chaos bits thrown on it because they were my Grey Knights. And it's like they're killing them and they're just keeping arms and legs and stuff, tails, sitting on the ground. My Necrons don't have any tufts or anything. It's just a texture paste and then a wash over it to turn it into a different color. And then there's the Star Wars Legion stuff that is a texture paste, followed by a bunch of coconut husk, followed by tufts. So I'm getting better at it, but it's slow. And then my Skaven are on cobblestone, so these guys will be on mud and cobblestone. So I'm slowly working up over the year my skills at basing. Tails are done. Hey, Angel of Death. Ooh, Deadpool. Cool. I just finished the last of the tails. So, I just have to do the runic gray. Just the runic gray left. Each one of these, as I do this, will finish them. Haha. And yeah, I'm interested in watching Deadpool. I'll get a chance at some point. Yes, final stretch. I have 20 rats left to finish. This finishes them. Painting, but... yeah... yeah. Let's go. Yeah, I want these guys to get put over in this pile. It's been a lot of painting today. And yesterday. But the results of a weekend of painting. When I was telling Ollie what I was doing, he called me a madman. But I now have 21 painted clanrats. 650. No. I'm not going to mention how many more clanrats I have that are not painted. But there are some. But this is the Skaventide clanrats. That's what I was going for this weekend. So, yeah, yeah, more than 15 hours of painting this weekend. And another one. Yeah, I don't actually own any Doom Wheels yet. So, I need to find a good conversion. No, I saw another streamer who was working on some Skaventide Skaven, and he was like, I'm not even tempted to paint those clan rats. I have some already painted, the old ones, and I'm not even sure about them. And I'm like, okay, sure. They're part of the box. Are you not going to finish the box? People paint the full box, right? That's what you're supposed to do? Says the person who has yet to ever finish a full box, lunchbox, but is well on his way to 80% complete on this one. Right? 75, 80%? Somewhere in that area? Fuzzy math, because I'm not going to calculate what is it? 61 out of 78. Two parts Doom, one part Wheels. Absolutely. That sounds cool. The first one is going to get painted as Invader Zim. I need to make a Zim wheel. Write that down for me. Someone write it down. I need a Zim wheel. Yes. Doom, 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 doom. Yes. Thank you. That sounds too fun not to do. So we have a abomination, a master molder, and an invader Zim wheel. Those are our next 3 Skaven projects after Skaventide. Sounds good to me. Yeah. But yeah, those 3 kit bashes sound really good. Well, that would be more of a Doom Flare, wouldn't it? One of those with a bunch of spikes? The Doom Wheel is more of a thing where they're riding inside of it, so the Ferris wheel would probably be more of an accurate look to it. Which I think the Doom Flare is still a resin kit. I think. Which means I'm not as intent on kit bashing because it may or may not actually have rules soonish. So, I don't know. I'd have to look into that again. But a Zim wheel sounds fun. Yeah, ferret wheel. I wonder what the thrift store might have. I'll have to go at some point in the near future, see what I can find. They're coming together. Yeah, I actually do wonder how many people have actually finished painting their clanrats from Skaventide. To whatever standard they want them to be. I just wonder how many. I know, it's the final stretch for the clanrats. Still have 17 more models to paint after these. But that's just wild, being beginning of the weekend having 21 painted and then have 61 painted at the end of the weekend. That's just Yeah, I mean, and you have to realize that some of the larger YouTube channels have had this box for a month and a half now, I think. The ones that get things early, like, they've had a month and a half. How many people have their clanrats? I think Battle Ready had 20 painted when he was doing his spearhead battle, but I think he prioritized painting 20 instead of the 40 for that video. Yeah, I mean, I know Vincey, Vince Venturella, I can speak. Vince, I think, has done a video on his clanrats, but he's also trying to paint them to best quality army out there. And what was it? Ninjon had 10 painted or something in his last video. But also trying to go high quality. Like, I'm not even talking about them, who I would expect to take a little longer to get good, get through it, because they're going for that quality. But I can't even say I've seen 40 clanrats painted yet on a YouTube channel. Which is kind of wild when you think about it, because, I mean, I'm just painting models. And I really think it great that I can eventually look back and see all of the things I painted, what I was doing, you know, the conversations that we had. I think that's cool. Like, look, there is proof I'm painting this. There is proof that I can get through at least 61 of 78 models. And bits of terrain. Hey, it was a model that came in the kit. I'm painting it. No questions whether or not I actually finished the box or not, you know? That's 32 finished Clanrats. Intense painting. Yeah, that's fair. Painting the things that you need to have done is very important. Keeping yourself focused on what you need to get done is also, you know, a good thing to do. Occasionally you need to just have fun, though. Yes, painting intensifies. I mean, this is 5 to the end of the Clanrats. Yes, yes. It, like I've said in several videos, actually, finding the motivation to work on things can be tricky. Making a list of what you need to get done first and sticking to it, or, you know, what project will get done quickest to knock it out and not feel like you have so many things to do. Have motivation, like having people keeping you motivated right in front of you, you know. Like, I usually have 3 or 4 or 5 projects going at once. It slows down the process, but keeps it nice and flexible. But I also don't usually have any particular timeline to get things done. This one, I did make sure I had everything else put away, so I wasn't, you know, getting distracted. And just getting through it, because that's what this is all about. Have my first box finished. So oh yeah, Tyranid kit bashes are pretty cool. And you will have lots of spare parts. I have bit storage for Imperium not Space Marine, Space Marine, Fantasy, and Chaos. And every single, well, each of those containers is half the size of my Tyranids bits box. And they're not even full. My Tyranid one is. Yeah. I definitely want to see him too. But yeah, my bits box for Tyranids is actually a Leviathan box. And then a little bit more. I don't even have everything in that box, but the whole box is full. So... Hey, Tiny Fox. You came in right... Hey, and Julian, you're back. You're back right in time. This is the second to last Clanrat. And... That's gonna be cool. So close. This is Clanrat number 40. What, 15 and a half hours of painting? In a weekend. It's all down to these last couple of brush strokes. There we go. 40 Clanrats. Oh. 40 Clanrats. 2 days. Oh. They're not all gonna fit on this one, but... But I'm gonna get as many as I can and zoom... Oh, get them up there. Come on. Yes. Yes, yes. The denim clanrats. This was such a fun, crazy painting challenge for myself. So cool. Now for them to get wiped out on the table in no time at all, right? Oh. I have 40 painted clanrats that I didn't have 2 days ago. Oh man, this is great. Great awesome, right? I know. Find me another YouTuber who has painted 40 clanrats already from Skaventide. I haven't seen one yet. I wish my video would zoom further, but that's what I got. I wonder. I'm gonna mess with this. Let's see if this will work. Is that any better? I know, 2 days. I just... Whew. I don't know if that actually made it... Yeah? Maybe. I don't know how to fix that now. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that was a Clanrat marathon. Oh, okay. I am thrilled. No, not 20 more tomorrow. I only have 17 more models from Skaventide to paint. This was more than half of everything in the box, model count-wise. There are 74 models and 4 pieces of terrain in that box. 40 of those 74 models are Clanrats. This is more than half the box painted in 2 days. Like, that's wild. This is so cool. I need to go... No. Not 17 more tomorrow. Yeah, terrain is already done. I mean, I still have to base all the models, but... I haven't actually decided. I think it's going to be a Stormcast. Because I just painted 40 rats. I think I need a small break. I don't know exactly what I'll do. It'll either be a character a character and Griff, 5 Liberators, right? Liberators? What are the other Vindicators? I don't know. The other dudes with hammers, or the 3 dudes with wings. So it's one of those 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, or 5 models from the Stormcast. So, yep. So, and tomorrow there will be a new thumbnail, because I'm going to lay all of these out and do a new thumbnail. So yeah, I can't believe it. I knew that one day for 40 rats would be rough. I figured I had today in case I couldn't do it. Well, I did it. I got 40 rats in 2 days, so I'll figure out what I'm gonna do for tomorrow. But yeah, this is wow. I hope you enjoyed the weekend. I did. And I'll be back at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow to paint something Stormcast from the box. So I'm gonna go put these on that table and bask in the glow of that many more painted models, and I'll see you tomorrow. So until the next time, but yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.